after we talked or did our little session, one thing that was interesting is like I felt like I was like very focused on like that right side of the heart. And then as I was trading later in the day, like I was able to like be like, oh, is that it? And then like I kind of entered a trade and felt it and was like, that's it. And then like stuck with it, it worked. Did it again, stuck with it, it worked. Did with it and like felt it go to the stomach, went the other way, and like was like starting to feel like my body react to it.
Mhm.
And that was an interesting thing. And then like I said, like I dug myself a pretty decent hole into like just out of experimentation. Like my boss always says, or my previous mentor used to always tell me, like, don't make rules that like don't create themselves. Like, don't just make a rule because like you think it's right. Like, go do something, see if that happens, and then do it again and see if it happens again, and then make a rule and then test, like, try and prove that rule false, right? Like don't just be like this is a rule and I'm going to live by this, because he's like that's how you put up boundaries that like aren't real, and
Mhm.
you create pretty much a reality that doesn't exist. So with trading, like everyone would say you shouldn't trade that time, but it's like, well, I mean, I can find out for $100, right? Let's go see. So it's kind of like that was kind of the deal. And then digging that hole and then digging myself out of that hole was like, well, that was pretty interesting. And then to size up, make money and make money on the week, like in a positive account, and be like, well, I should probably cement this by, even if it's a small transfer, like making a real tangible like action in the universe by moving it. And it was an interesting thing to do. And that's kind of what led me to the next thing. So what I realized after that is that like, okay, I have this like connection now to like my heart pretty much, but like the downside of that is I constantly have a connection to my heart now that like I can't really not listen to that, or it's too painful not to listen to. So that's been like a very interesting weekend, because immediately like even on, well, I guess not so much Friday, on, well, I mean things, so on Saturday I was like kind of doing what I would normally do on Saturday. I was like, I went in, I mean, I ran into Walmart and came out and like, okay, that ruined my day. Like, I don't exactly know why that. And I was like, okay, cool. So I like, it's kind of like, you know, for whoever's watching this, I've lost quite a bit of weight and have a very good physique. And it's like, there's just certain, like, not certain, 90% of places I will not eat at. Right. And it's kind of like, I guess my spiritual diet is probably going to mimic my physical diet moving forward. And there's a lot of places that I probably can't go anymore. And that in itself has been like I guess the, like, a physical transformation takes a decade, a spiritual transformation takes like an instant. So it's a lot of shuffling, as you know, that like, okay, well, I can't do this now, so how's that going to look moving forward, and trying to kind of figure out like what that looks like.